in America is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I grew up in America my whole life, went to school here. I went to a private school as a young kid. And then from 3rd grade on up, I went to public schools. I went to a charter school, which is a little bit better for 1 year. And then I went to a public school in the inner city, which was like half black, half white, a lot of Mexicans. Basically like, typical inner city school. And the education there was a complete joke. Like you could, like for history class, we would just sit back and chill and listen to a badass teacher talk about history, and we'd actually learn. So that was like the one good teacher. Besides that, it would be like English class. Here's 10 words on a piece of paper. Learn what these 10 words mean. You have a whole week to do it. Come back in 1 week, and we're going to give you the exact same piece of paper and have you fill it out. You get a whole week to learn a sheet of paper of words you probably already know what they mean. That's how insanely easy it was. Because they say, well, if the stupidest kid in the class is slowing people up, we need to slow the whole class down so that the stupid kid can learn. Or the kid that learns differently. Let's just try to teach everybody the same and slow it way down, because this one size all approach doesn't work, and some kids learn differently, so we're going to slow it way down for this kid because he learns differently, so everyone else in the classroom is now screwed and has to learn at this kid's pace, when this kid could probably learn very quickly if he was in the right environment, right teacher, right subject, and so on and so forth. So, if you have went to public schools in small rural towns in America and gotten a great education, I understand that, because that's how Vicksburg was. That was also a public school. But then I've been to the real public schools. So if you think that the public education system in America isn't broken, then you're living in a bubble and you have no fucking clue as to how bad education in America really is. And it's all because local school boards and all those people, I've always been saying, you give the power back to the schools, let them run themselves. I'm pretty sure that the local school board and the parents and the teachers know how to educate their kids better than bureaucrats in Washington. And I swear to God, I don't know if it was Bush doing this on purpose or what, but he was dumbing your kids down and using the federal government to dumb down kids, or maybe to just screw up the public school system, even if it wasn't a conspiracy to make kids dumber. That's the effect it had, so it doesn't really matter what the intention was. The effect was that the federal government was dumbing kids down in America. And now, just listen to what happened today.
Of our schools. Thank you very much, Betsy. With her help, we are empowering those who know our students best. I would say by far the best, right, Betsy? Their parents and the teachers, so that every child has the chance to succeed. In fact, we're proud to have some of those wonderful teachers here with us today, and we'd like to welcome all of them to the White House. It's a great honor. I also... Thank you. Thank you very much. I also want to thank members of Congress, local leaders, and governors for joining us here today, including Governor Ivey of Alabama, a new and great governor. He will be fantastic. I've been hearing about you for years in the most positive way, so I'm not surprised that you're governor of Alabama. Congratulations.
Trump always spends like the first...
Governor Branstad, who is soon going to be heading out, I suspect,
just giving
to a place called China.
Boys,
they love
his friends how
him,
great
I will
they
tell
are.
you. They really love the soon-to-be ambassador, but he also loves China. So it was a good combination. I was very happy to put it together. They're looking forward to seeing you. Very much so. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Governor LePage of Maine, Governor Sandoval of Nevada, Governor Herbert of Utah, Governor Meade of Wyoming, We want to thank you all and everyone else for being with us. It's really an honor to have you in the White House. For too long, the federal government has imposed its will on state and local governments. The result has been education that spends more and achieves far, far, far less. My administration has been working to reverse this federal power grab and give power back to families, cities, states, give power back to localities. Before this administration, only one time in our nation's history had a president signed a bill that used the Congressional Review Act to cancel a federal regulation. In less than 100 days, I have signed 13 such congressional resolutions to cancel federal regulations and give power back to the people.
So, if you're a libertarian, I don't know what you've been thinking of Trump so far, but this is on a whole nother level. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Trump. I was doubting him. I really started to doubt him for a second. But this guy is the real deal. He is serious about dissolving power from the federal centralized government back to state and local governments. That is classic, like, libertarianism, Americana. That's not, that transcends Republican or Democratic. That is, we're talking about like the revolution all over again. Taking power away from big centralized banks and giving it back to the local and state governments. And if you think that the federal government doesn't have their hand in it, everything, even small local stuff, then you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea, and don't even try to fucking explain it to me, because I understand all the nuances. Trust me, the federal government, with regulations and the appropriation of funds, they decide exactly what goes on where, almost to a T. And centralized power is not the answer. Decentralized power, make it, it's going to be great, guys. Like, Trump is really dissolving power away from the federal government and giving it back to the states. This is true Americana. Anyways, I got my kid here. Gotta give him a bath, so peace out.